Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakal Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers Caesar or Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushua, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we're the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Escalation, and this video is about World War III. And today we have what is considered a serious escalation. And it is indeed a serious escalation. It's a serious escalation towards World War III. In Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14, it says, "The second woe is past," which is talking about World War II, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, which is talking about World War III. So World War III is on the table. It's a part of Bible prophecy, and as such, we're going to be seeing the escalation of it. All right, things are going to be happening to, contribute to the prophecy until its manifestation. Okay, and so Middle East crisis live, which the Middle East is actually Western Asia. Trump says U.S. tried to warn Qatar of impending Israel strike, but we're too late to stop the attack. Middle East crisis live. Qatar says attack is serious escalation as world leaders say strike on Doha risks efforts for a ceasefire in Gaza. Hamas says 6 people were killed in attack. The state of Israel launches airstrikes against top Hamas members in Qatar for Gaza ceasefire talks. All right, so this happened today, September 9th, 2025. The article shows Wednesday, September 10th, 2025, as some people are in the date of September 10th. All right, and this thing is being updated live. Okay, so from 3 hours ago, Qatari Prime Minister says nothing will deter Qatar's mediation role and accuses Netanyahu of state terrorism. All right, so that area, Western Asia, the so-called Middle East, it is the area of contention, and it is the area of contention for a reason. All right, in Joel chapter 2 and verse 20, "But I will remove far off from you the northern army," which is talking about the US, "and will drive him into a land barren and desolate," which is talking about the land of Saudi Arabia, "with his face toward the East Sea," which is the Euphrates River, "and his hinder part toward the utmost sea," which is the Red Sea, "and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things." So America is going to be going to war over there in the so-called Middle East in due time. Okay, and the scriptures let us know that that land is going to be the land of Saudi Arabia, and that area has been the area of contention for several years. All right, and it's all going to escalate towards World War III. Okay, and so now the state of Israel is out there doing whatever it is that they want to do per usual, and they are attacking Doha, Qatar for their own reasons. All right, that's our outlined here. Qatar Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani said on Tuesday that the mediation efforts are part of the Qatar identity and nothing would deter its role in that regard, hours after Israel attacked Hamas leaders in Doha. All right, so it's because of the whole Hamas thing, and if I remember correctly, the state of Israel has attempted to link the Hamas to Iran. So let me see. Actually, I just Googled it and it said the Hamas-Iran relationship, Iranian support for Hamas. So it's a move against Iran, right? And then we know, based off of Bible prophecy, that Iran is a main ally to Russia. So this is an escalation of World War III. All right, Ezekiel 38 lets us know that Russia is going to be going to war, and Russia will have an alliance, and Iran is a part of that alliance, as well as African nations and Turkey. All right, which we are also witnessing the deterioration of the relationship between Turkey and her current allies. All right, moving away from the current alliance that Turkey is with, which is NATO and the EU and America, and moving to the other side, because Turkey has openly spoken out against the state of Israel and what they're doing. So, the state of Israel, those are the Ish people. That's the tribe of Amalek. That's the wicked elite of Esau, Edom. They are the tribe of Amalek. So things are all escalated, man. Okay, and then it shows here in the book of Jeremiah, the least of the flock. Okay, it says in Jeremiah 54 and verse 45, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he had taken against Babylon, which is America, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So the least of flock is talking about that tribe of Amalek, which is the Ish people, the small hats. All right, they're going to be doing things to draw out America to go to war. America is Babylon the Great. All right, and as you can see, man, they just be doing whatever, man. They just be striking wherever, whenever, however they want to. All right, and they're not held to certain standards that other countries are held to. They just have a free reign to do what they want to do. All right, but this is Esau's kingdom, so of course they're going to be able to do that. All right, this is Esau's kingdom and this is his blessing. Okay, so they just be doing that, but these actions are going to eventually lead America to go to war over there in the so-called Middle East, Western Asia, right? As it says in Joel chapter 2 and verse 20, and it coincides with this precept right here, because it says, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So we know the judgment. We know that they're going to lose. Okay, America and the state of Israel, they're going to lose. And also as well, things are going to happen where America's allies are going to turn against her. NATO and the EU. As it says in Revelation chapter 17 and verse 16, and the 10 horns, which is the European Union, which thou sawest upon the beast, which is NATO, thee shall hate the whore, which is America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. Right? They're going to burn her with fire, which is burn her with thermonuclear fire by way of the ICBM missiles, because America is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire. That's going to happen at the end of World War III. But keep in mind that before that can occur, the mark of the beast prophecy, which is a microchip, has to be fulfilled. All right, before the destruction and the salvation can come, or rather the salvation and then the destruction, because the salvation comes before the destruction. All right, when Yahushua returns, he's going to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel from the four corners of the earth, and the 1/3, the elect from America, and then America is going to be destroyed, and then all of the heathen up in America are going to perish, and 2/3 of our people that refuse to repent to our power, Yahweh Shemishah, are going to perish as well. They would have also taken the microchip. All right, there's a judgment for taking it. Okay, so all of this is very close to happening, man, and things are just escalating. As it says, it is a serious escalation. And then regarding these so-called Arab nations, right, they have their part to play in the book of, oh, I do have this map here as well. I brought it up to show where Qatar is. So Qatar is actually a part of, that land of Saudi Arabia, Israel over there. This is the area of contention, man. Okay, so in the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 28, it speaks to the Arabs. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. So they're going to be going to war. Also the Carmanians are known as the Persians, who are known as Iran today. Raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Okay, so the land of the Assyrians is referring to the Edomites. Okay, so they're going to be against them, and the dragons of Arabia, which is, I know that the Arabs are the Ishmaelites, right? And then the Carmanians, who are, the Iranians, are the Elamites, and they are, going to be, as it says, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of their Syrians. So we know who they are going to be against, which is going to be against Esau. All right, on that side, okay, the Edomite dominant alliance of America, the State of Israel, NATO, and the EU. So all of these things are happening for a reason, and it's happening because of Bible prophecy. And this is quite interesting, this situation. I wonder if there are any more updates. Let's see. Oh, okay, well, it says this blog is now closed. Okay, well, they were updating it, and this is what it is. But the main point is that Bible prophecy is at hand. World War III is at hand. Things are building up, and these Arab nations, man, are being activated due to the actions of the State of Israel, the Edomites, and eventually what's going to happen is that things are going to escalate to a point where, due to the actions of the State of Israel, it's going to force America to go to war with them. Because Trump here in this article was actually saying about how Donald Trump has said that the State of Israel's decision to attack Hamas leaders in Qatar was made by Benjamin Netanyahu alone and not by him. Okay, so it's like, I can't speak to the veracity of that statement, but it appears that once again, the State of Israel is going rogue, and doing their own thing. But these actions, based off of Bible prophecy, will eventually lead America to go to war in the so-called Middle East. And then we know who they're going to be fighting against, right? It's going to be against Russia and her allies, right? And then the scripture is letting us know, man, that the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. All right, so they shall remember their nature, man. All right, because, those Arabs, they have a very wild nature, man. So they're going to be going buck wild out there. But also the situation at hand, when they said that they're targeting Hamas, which is, an attack on the State of Israel, going again. What did I just say? The attack, let me reiterate. The attack on the Hamas leaders in Qatar is an attack on Iran. Okay, right. So we'll see how this continues to escalate, man. And then we know, based off of the scriptures, that Russia is a defense to its allies. And then over these past years, there has been, the tension between the State of Israel and the tension between them and Iran. Okay, and that continues to escalate. So, just something that's happening in real time, contributing to Bible prophecy. So we'll see how it all goes, man. All right. With that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai by Shemakakodesh. Shalom.